So I saw this question by one of the viewers who commented on my first video. They asked, how did I come up with the name flonought? So as this channel continues to grow, I figured this would be a good time to make my trailer for my channel, which is this. This is flonought. I'm Brad, and here's kind of the story of how I came up with the name. I obsess about things like this. And if you've ever gone down that rabbit hole of trying to find a unique name, you know how hard it is.
Kicking my ass, do you mind?
Because for as long as the internet's been around and social media and all the handles that are out there, it's very hard to kind of create something that's your own, that's not already taken or has a billion other versions of it. So as I was starting down this path of how to kind of come up with a unique name, I eventually just started Googling how to make up a word.
It was just easier.
And that led me to some article that's like, well, look at, prefixes of different words and like the Latin root word. And so then that led me down this big, long rabbit hole of just looking up like beautiful words in the English language and all this stuff, just article. And eventually I landed on this Latin root word that I liked, and it's florens. So what florens means is to blossom or blossoming. And another variation of it is to flourish. And then I kept Googling, and eventually stumbled across the word nought. And nought actually has two different ways to spell it. So it's N-O-U-G-H-T and N-A-U-G-H-T. And it literally means nothing. And I think I just liked the look of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I like that.
I hadn't really seen that word before. When I started messing around with it and I use Canva, I'm not a graphic designer either. You can probably even tell from my logo.
I designed this myself.
So I was just messing around with a basic design on like, okay, I found these two words, started taking, different aspects of words, and eventually took flow, the first three letters, and the N-O-U-G-H-T version of nought. I liked how it looked. It was 9 letters, it was 333. You'll notice on my watermark on the bottom right-hand corner, I can do that nice vertical look, and it still kind of has some symmetry to it, even though the cursive font is kind of a little bit more creative and not as uniform. It's kind of got that brushstroke look, a little more artsy
grassy stuff.
But really like that aspect of it. And to me, the meaning behind it, the to blossom or to flourish and nothing, essentially just means to blossom from nothing, to flourish from nothing. Meaning that if you want to do something and you want to learn a new skill, but you've never done it before, you're starting from ground zero. The only way to learn how to do it is to actually take the time to learn. And most of the stuff is available online. You don't need to take a course at a school or something.
Gotta get up early and waste some more money on my overpriced education.
A lot of it is available on YouTube, or just taking the time to actually search through finding good articles on the internet, because there's a lot of bad ones too, but just searching and learning how to do stuff. So I think that really encompasses this channel. Is to me, I don't want to feel stagnant in life. I don't want to ever stop growing or learning for the rest of my life. I think you can learn from other creators online. You can learn from your parents. You can learn from your grandparents.
I kid you not, I have seen some shit.
You can learn from anyone, and I think you can have a common connection with almost anyone. To me, it's just constantly growing, constantly learning, and I think that's a lot of this channel for me. I'm kind of changing from my original video. I have learned a lot this month, so still along those topics, but visual arts is going to be my header, because that encompasses photography and cinematography and kind of more of the creative stuff rather than just photography. Minimalism, cars, and tattoos is going to be kind of like it's going to be like a subheader, but I get tattooed about once a year. So there's not a ton of content I'm going to do around there, but there's stuff I can still make about that. And it's something that it's important to me. And I'm sure that will continue to kind of get filtered out more and more as I continue learning the craziness of YouTube. But if you're thinking of starting a channel, just start. Screw up, fail, see the opportunity in it, because it really does open things up. Every time I pick up this camera, I get a little bit more comfortable. And when I started filming out in public and there were people around me, it was awkward as shit and I hated it. People look at you like you're the weirdest person in the world.
So I gotta sit here and eat dessert alone like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg?
Which is so funny when people have cell phones all the time, but I don't see the disconnect there on why it's so much different. But all that to say, thank you so much for the support so far. My goal is to do this full time and continue learning and growing my audience. Look forward to more content from me. My goal is to put out content at least once a week. I think it's manageable. I'm starting to get to the point where I can hopefully start stacking up some videos to schedule content to go out, so I'm not like racing against the clock every week. But at the latest, it'll be one video every 2 weeks, but right now I'm shooting for a video a week. And if some weeks I can do more than that, I'm gonna release it. So thank you so much for joining. If you made it this far, if you listen to me talk this much, that's it. I'm stoked and I'm learning a lot, and I will see you on the next one. I'm excited. See ya.